Hello everyone, how's it going? I finally got to work on this video. I know it's like long awaited. My schedule got a little bit full, but I can finally talk. It is Sunday, so the World Cup is going on. So if you hear a lot of shouting and yelling in a little bit, it's because my family's watching it, and I mean I'm not gonna tell them to shut up. But um, this video I'm gonna be talking about. One second, sorry. I'm gonna be talking about the drawings I've been working on for my band. Now I'm gonna try to go in order based on how the story goes, um, and then go from there. I guess I don't know. I've never shared my ideas with anyone, so you guys are like the first people I'm sharing with, other than like really close friends. But I mean, like outside of my like super close like circle, this is something new. I'm gonna start with the order of how the story progresses, not the order I've made them, just because this feels more appropriate that way, I guess. Yeah, let's begin. So the first drawing, um, the story is basically a concept story, and it's about a guy who gets falsely accused for some wrongdoing he didn't do, and his love interest, um, I guess he gets accused of something he didn't do, and he thinks he's under the idea that his love interest is also being like taken away. So he tells her to hide, and like he will like confront them himself. He ends up getting just absolutely fucking wrecked, and and they take him away. That's what the first drawing is. This was like my attempt to make things a little bit better, and it worked too well. It is what it is. We'll keep going, but this is the beginning. This piece is a beginning. Next, this is where the our main character, he doesn't have a name yet. I don't know about it yet. He is put in prison and he's having a horrible time. Um, and he realizes that everything he's been trying to do to look on the bright side, his mom always told him to pray, um, things would get better. It's not working out for him, so he decides to seek help somewhere else, and that's what this drawing is basically showing. I wanted to indicate the feeling that there's like that light coming from the bottom up, kind of like Full Metal Alchemist, if you've ever seen that, and then the darkness above. It's not a good light or whatever. However you see it, he ends up giving away his entire soul in order to be able to escape and be with his love interest, and so he could take revenge on everyone that's wronged him. Um, so he does that, and then the next drawing, this is where we introduce a new character that I call the Lady of Perpetual Sorrows. She's like an angel that disguises herself as a nun when he goes to a church to ask why his life has been going the way it is, because it's been really bad. And she's like telling him what's going on and everything. Tells him to keep like seeking for the truth or whatever, and it doesn't work out. And he just decides to fuck it, and he'll, if no like special entity will help him, then he'll help himself. Um, and this next drawing, it's like a close up of that angel. This is like a study, but I liked it so much it became like my wallpaper on my phone. This is actually like my favorite one. I don't know how I'm gonna tie this to the story. If anything, that might be like the actual drawing for that song, because each song is tied to a drawing. So the thing we want to do with my band and I is that we'll have the album and then CDs that are tied to that um, story. So like if you're looking to the booklet, you'll see, like, you can look at the art and admire it if you want to, but you can also listen and look at the drawing and go from there. And the last drawing that not the second to last drawing, so this next drawing, um, so he finds out that his love interest is actually the one that got him taken away because she needed the money. Um, and it's like she's a pretty toxic person, and honestly so is he for what he's done, all the bad things he did. um so they both realize that their actions weren't going to help anyone. Um, their actions were just gonna have this cycle repeat. So even if he lives or she lives or whoever, it's just gonna end up repeating because they realize they're not really good people, and so they end up going bye bye, both of them together. And then in this last drawing, he is finally putting himself to rest, and he hides in the wings of crows in a rose-ish garden at the church or like the graveyard or whatever, and he gives up. And this story was inspired to me by basically everything going on right now in the world. I feel like for a lot of artists, every story they tell comes from something in life that they're experiencing. For me, it's everything going on for Hispanics and how I've been seeing things. And some of the I didn't tell the entire story because I don't want to ruin it. I want to finish the album, and then you all listen to it and see how it goes from there, because some things might change. It might not be like that forever, but everything I've been seeing, I'm putting it on the story, and I'm trying to tackle I guess like my personal struggles with religion, right? Because from everything that's been going on in my life recently, if you saw the last video, it's been pretty rough. And I always have my mom saying, because my mom is pretty religious, my entire family's pretty religious, and they're always saying to pray and everything will get better. And when there was that shooting that happened near where I work, I remember seeing signs everywhere that like, pray for this, pray for that. And it's like, if certain actions were taken, right, then this could be prevented. But because of ignorance, and this is just my view, right, but because of ignorance by certain ignorant people, then it's hard for it to even be like considered a thought to have more control over stuff like that. So praying can only do so much when you're not helping yourself. And I think that's kind of what I want to tell in the story, but also some love and stuff like that. And for this drawing that I'm doing right now, that's basically that. Coming to an end and realizing that sometimes you're not always going to have control of your life and the things that happened around you, and it's okay. And I've realized recently that I don't need like 20 billion colors to make this work. I've only been using 2. It's that blue and that red, and then messing around with the different like values for it and adding lightings and shadows here and there. But realistically, I've only been using 2 colors, maybe a white every now and then. And I wanted to show you all my progress with making this, because I have a certain way of doing it that I don't really know how to explain. And it's a lot easier for me to just be like, here, take a look at this. I hope you enjoy. But yeah, that's my story so far. I'm working really hard with my guitars to make this work, but I'm not a very good songwriter, and I don't know how to sing and add melodies on it. So I'm trying to figure this out, and it's pretty hard, but I think with time it'll come, and hopefully whenever I do start sharing audios for it, or I start sharing the actual like songs, it's something you all enjoy. Sorry if I stop talking for a bit. My family's like they're letting it rip right now. But yeah, that's part of that. That's the end of that conversation. I hope that's something you enjoyed listening. I think when I add more drawings, I'll share more of my thoughts and ideas for that part. Now I'm gonna give you guys the diary update, because that's kind of what this is about. Things have been pretty slow. I don't think that's been too crazy. I've been able to enjoy watching like League of Legends, like MSI, which is the mid-season invitationals. That's been a lot of fun. They happen at like 3 a.m. sometimes because the game takes place in Korea, so it's like the time is all over the place. And work has been okay. I was asked if I wanted to teach art classes at work on the iPads that we use, so hopefully I get to do that. I think that's going to be a lot of fun being able to um being able to teach art to like little kids and people interested in art. Uh, they said they're maybe gonna think about letting it be like a position, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe I'll help. I'll be like a creative, which is someone that showcases technology. And what else? 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 I don't know. This week has been pretty tame for the most part, other than like home stuff, which is whatever. It's just parent stuff, but outside of that, it's been pretty comfortable. For the future, though, I do have a project plan because, as you all know, I love League of Legends, but I suck at the game. I am absolute booty cheeks at it, but I'm good at art. So I think I'm gonna have like these fan-made skin videos where I'm going to talk about the character, show what inspired me to do it, and I'll talk about, you know, everything that went on while I was making it and whatnot. I, but yeah, that's it for today. Thank you all so much for watching and hanging out. I hope you all enjoyed hearing me share my art and giving you all these updates every now and then. Thank you all so much for the support. It really means a lot that you all enjoy my art. And I'll catch y'all later. Bye bye.